Have you ever felt a flicker of satisfaction when someone else stumbles? Maybe a coworker doesn't get the promotion, a friend's relationship falls apart, and for a split second, you feel better about your own life. It's uncomfortable to admit, but it's more common than you think. This strange hidden joy has a name, and understanding it might reveal more about your own insecurities than theirs. Welcome to neuroscience, where we explore the psychological forces shaping our society and ourselves. Today, we're unraveling the unsettling truth behind why we sometimes feel good when others fall. The name of the feeling: Schadenfreude. The Germans have a word for this: Schadenfreude. It literally means harm joy, pleasure derived from someone else's misfortune. But this emotion predates the word. Ancient Roman texts make reference to the pleasure taken when the arrogant are humbled. The Hebrew Bible warns against gloating at your enemy's downfall. Across cultures and centuries, the emotion was recognized, long before it had a name. From an evolutionary perspective, some researchers believe it served a functional purpose. In small competitive groups, the failure of others could signal opportunity. When a high-status member stumbled, it opened space for others to advance. This subtle sense of triumph, it may have helped early humans track their social position and survive. And today, that same ancient instinct plays out in far more complex social environments. The brain gets rewarded. In a 2009 study from the National Institute for Physiological Sciences in Japan, researchers found that the striatum, a part of the brain associated with reward, lit up when participants witnessed a rival's failure. That's right. Your brain treats someone else's downfall like a small win. It's not because you're cruel, it's because the brain is wired to track social standing. When someone else slips, especially someone above you, your brain quietly celebrates a leveling of the playing field. Envy, status, and social comparison. According to social comparison theory, we constantly measure ourselves against others, consciously or not. And when someone close to us succeeds, it can feel like a reflection of our own shortcomings. But when they fail, there's a fleeting moment of relief, because suddenly the gap between them and me narrows. Researchers at Princeton University and the University of Kentucky found that envy is a powerful predictor of Schadenfreude. The more we envy someone, the more likely we are to feel pleasure at their setbacks. Friends, family, and competition. You'd expect Schadenfreude to show up in enemies, but it shows up more often in friends. Why? Because our closest relationships are often silent battlegrounds of comparison. Who's doing better? Who's more attractive, more successful, more liked? Even in families, sibling rivalries fuel this. Growing up, siblings often compete for attention, praise, or resources. And even in adulthood, these dynamics can linger, subtly influencing how we feel when a brother or sister struggles. The same goes for friendships. When someone in our circle achieves something we want, whether it's a job, a partner, or public recognition, it can trigger a sense of invisible competition. We want the best for them, but part of us feels left behind. A 2011 study from the University of California, San Diego found that participants were more likely to experience Schadenfreude when the failing person was similar to them in background, goals, or status. Why? Because their success feels more personal. Their life becomes a measuring stick for our own, and when they falter, it temporarily takes the pressure off our own shortcomings. It's not about malice. It's about proximity. The closer someone is to your identity, the more their failure feels like your relief. The moral dimension: when failure feels deserved. Not all Schadenfreude is envy-driven. Sometimes we feel joy at others' failures because we think they deserve it. Psychologists call this justice-based Schadenfreude. When someone cheats, lies, or flaunts their power and finally gets caught, we don't just feel pleasure, we feel moral satisfaction. A study in psychological science showed that people were more likely to feel Schadenfreude when the person in question had violated moral or social norms. It's less about their failure and more about restoring balance. Why it matters: the feeling is human, but not always healthy. Feeling this way doesn't make you a bad person, it makes you human. But left unchecked, this reflex can warp how we view others and ourselves. Schadenfreude can mask insecurity. It can slow personal growth. It can quietly poison relationships. But when recognized, it can point us toward the areas in life we feel lacking and the validation we secretly crave. Instead of asking why did they fail? Ask, why does their failure make me feel better? You are not alone in this feeling. But your awareness of it, that's what makes the difference, because every reaction is a mirror. And sometimes what we feel about them is just a reflection of what we're still working on in ourselves. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you trust. And subscribe to neuroscience for more explorations of the thoughts we hide and the truths that connect us all.